Hi friends, how are you all? Hope all of you are fine. Hope all of you are doing well, and hope all of you are going through my videos. So we will look into the next chapter today. A nasty shock. George's boat was almost ready, but not quite. It was having a last coat of paint on it. It looked very nice, for George had chosen a bright red paint, and the oars were painted red too. They can't Oh, can't we possibly have it this afternoon? Said George to Jim, the boatman. He shook his head. No, George, he said, not unless you all want to be messed up with red paint. I'll be dry tomorrow, but not before. We'll go to the island tomorrow then, said Juliana. We'll just picnic on the beach today. Then we'll go for a walk. So they picnicked on the sands with Timothy, sharing more than half their lunch. The sandwiches weren't very nice. The bread was so too stale. There wasn't enough butter inside, and they were far too thick. But Timothy didn't mind. He gobbled up as many as he could, his tail wagging so hard that it sent sand over anyone. Everyone. Timothy, please take your tail out of the sand if you want to wag it, said Juliana, getting sand all over his hair for the fourth time. Timmy wagged his tail hard. I'm turning the page again and sent another shower over Juliana. Everyone laughed. Let's go for a walk, said Dick, jumping up. My legs couldn't do with some good exercise. Where shall we go? We'll walk along the cliff top, where we can see the island all the time, shall we? Said Annie. George, is the old wreck still there? George nodded. The children had once had a very exciting time with an old wreck that had lain at the bottom of the sea. A great storm had lifted it up and set it firmly on the rocks. They had been able to explore the wreck then and had found a map of the castle in it, with instructions as to where hidden treasure was to be found. Do you remember how we found that old map in the wreck and how we looked for the ingots of gold and found them? Said Julian. His eyes gleamed as he remembered it all. Isn't the wreck battered to pieces yet, George? No, said George. I don't think so. It's on the rocks on the other side of the island, you remember? So we can't see it from here. But we could have a look at it when we go on the island tomorrow. Yes, let's, said Annie. Poor old wreck. I guess it won't last many winters now. They walked along the cliff top with Timothy capering ahead of them. They could see the island easily and ruined castle rising up from the middle. There's the Jaw Tower, said Annie, looking. The other tower's fallen down, hasn't it? Look at the Jaws circling round and round the tower, George. Yes, they built it in every year, said George. Don't you remember the masses of sticks around the tower that the Jaws dropped when they built their nests? We picked some up and made a fire with them once. I'd love to do that again, said Annie. Let's do it each night if we stay a week on the island, George. Didn't you ask your mum? Oh, yes, said George. She said she thought we might, but she would see. I don't like it when grown ups say they'll see, said Annie. It so often means they won't let you do something after all, but they don't like to tell you at the time. So I'll just end the lesson here, and I'll see you again tomorrow. And please go through the video along with me and keep practicing, and definitely you'll be able to speak good English. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.